Thank you very much. Magandang umaga po sa inyong lahat. Una sa lahat, gusto kong ipahatid ang aming pagpapasalamat sa mga champions natin ng higher education. Salamat po sa paniniwala na sa pamamagitan ng pagsama-sama tayo ay maitutuwid natin at mapalakas ang higher education institution. Before I start, I would like to acknowledge and introduce our new commissioners who are here present. We have Commissioner Mirna Malyari, the former president of a Level 4 University, Tarlac State University, and Commissioner Michelle Ong, our former president of Mabalacat State College, who transformed and modeled what is a college university should be. So, and lahat po ng ating mga directors sa higher education, including those online na regional director, nandito po sila para suportahan ang aming pagprepresent ng aming kinakailangan for 2026. So in the interest of time, we were advised to compress our presentation in 10 minutes. That's why I might have the big number of slides, but I will make sure that I go fast as the jet plane. So these are highlights. We will present to you the highlights of accomplishments, the challenges, the strategic solutions, the achieve framework, the 100 days accomplishment, and of course the 2026 expenditure program, our wish list for 2026 that will enable us to realize our set strategic framework and the CHED budget in fiscal years for comparison. Let me drive you through sa highlight ng aming accomplishment in our first 135 days. We already presented our accomplishment last September 15 for our 100 days. Honorable Chair of the Committee on Finance and Honorable Chairperson of the Basic Education, thank you for joining with us and find time to listen with us. Where is CHED coming from? Based on the current higher education landscape, we conducted a series of problem and solution three analysis to identify the root cause of the sector's persistent challenges and to design corresponding strategic solution. On this slide, you can see, next slide, please. Next slide. Maidedak yan sa oras kong 10 minutes. Ha? So where is CHED coming from? We did deep dive on the root cause analysis, why we are facing such problem. We identified these 7 challenges: fragmented education system, lack of demand-driven, nationally coordinated human capital development framework, lack of mechanism to utilize HEI expertise in research, absence of centralized education system, need to strengthen internationalization practices, outdated organizational structure of CHED, as lauded by EDCOM2, and then weak stakeholder feedback mechanism. Ang tanong, ano po namin isosolve ito? That's why in our first 100 days, we sit down and then propose this strategic solution that we coin it as ACHIEVE: advanced and accessible lifelong learning, centralized one nation human capital development, harmonized SDG-based research and innovation, integrated real-time collection and analytics, expanded and impact-driven internationalization, vitalized policies, and effective public service. We are, next slide, we are very proud to present to you now the strategic framework, which will serve as our compass in elevating the trust and quality, the trust of the people to CHED and upscale the quality of higher education in our country. Our mission is to ensure inclusive, accessible, and equitable quality higher education that develops lifelong learning. At the center of it all are CHED's people, guided by our IM SMART values, integrity, agility, modesty, service, motivation, accountability, and transparency. I would like to highlight here, if you go to the next slide, that during our Converge to Achieve Higher Education Summit, which was attended by many of our government and private partners on September 15, I clearly recited, we cannot build the bagong Pilipinas on a weak foundation. Education cannot remain just an aspiration. It must be a guarantee that every Filipino in every barangay, from Batanes to Sulu, can rely on. So our Achieve agenda is our compass, reminding us that education is not just about classrooms or diplomas. It is about building lives, empowering communities, and shaping the nation. Let me now go quick in our first 100 days plus accomplishment. And if you go to the next slide, under this framework, CHED's first 100 days were dedicated to rationalizing its structure, recalibrating programs, and strengthening partnerships with both government and private institutions. So we strengthened and expanded collaboration, rationalized our CHED organizational structure, and recalibrated and reimagined existing CHED programs and projects. Next slide, please. Under Advanced and Accessible Lifelong Learning, CHED issued the ETIAP Handbook and implementing rules and regulations, policies, and micro-credentials. We also developed the semiconductor and electronics industry framework and signed memoranda of understanding with the Department of Migrant Workers, the National Irrigation Administration, and the Presidential Communications Office. For centralized human capital development, with full support of our beloved President, we launched the Bagong Pilipinas Merit Scholarship Program. We got the support and established interagency government partnership with DOLE, TESDA, DOT, OPAPRO, CHR, and industry like Inotech and Unilab, and many more, in order for us to align and with employment and regional development. Under the harmonized SDG BAS research and innovation agenda, CHED developed the Innovation Blueprint Framework and initiated a consortium with DA PhilRice for the 20 pesos kilogram rice challenge. We also convened the first harmonization meeting with DOST and DA BAR to align the R&D priorities across agencies. We can please move to the next slide, that is INE. For integrated real-time data collection and analytics in strong collaboration with the Department of DICT, we completed the Digital CHED Digital Transformation Roadmap and Strategic Plan. We launched the eCub in the eGov. Before, you cannot see CHED in the eGov floor. Now it is already on top, being the higher education agency. We also launched the CHED Scholarship Dashboard, the CHED General Informatics System Dashboard, where in just one click you can locate the university with all the basic information there. We launched also the Philippine our higher education, and we signed MOA with the DepEd and TESDA. Under the expanded and impact-driven internationalization, in less than 100 days, CHED revised travel guidelines. This is the cry of our state university and colleges, began mapping the SDG initiatives of HEI, and developed the Filipino Scholars Profile Portal in preparation for the rolling out of our ATR. We are also finalizing a national strategy for fostering world-class Philippine universities and strengthening. We are very happy that in my 38 hours official visit in Kuala Lumpur the other day, with 7 different meetings with high ministers from 10 different countries, we were informed that there are additional 10 higher education institutions that has been elevated to Southeast Asia ranking. This is another one. This is the reason why we are coming to the Senate to clearly define our strategic compass, because we want that all HEI should see the global education landscape. If we go to the next slide, we are down to V&E. For governance reform, we issued the CHED Regional Office Manual of Operations so that all the operations in the CHED Regional Offices is perfectly aligned with the operations in the National Office, in the National Central Office. We updated the policy on granting autonomous and deregulated status to private HEIs and strengthened internal audit and fiscal management systems. And under the effective and efficient public service, we established the CHED Strategic Communication Service. This is new in the organizational structure to make sure na lahat po na ipinamamalita ay tama at totoo. The E2GON feedback mechanism, we introduced the CHED EFMIS and centralized supply management system. We also conducted data analytics training for CHED employees in partnership with the Development Academy of the Philippines. If we can move to the next slide, I am very happy to present, to announce and present to the public, especially our champions in higher education, that we conducted the first or the inaugural joint DepEd CHED TESDA MANCOM meeting on October 3 and 2024, because we all recognize the necessity and importance of aligning all our programs, because after all, we are dealing with the same Homo sapiens, the Filipino people. Next slide. So just to support our claim that we busied ourselves in our first 100 days, I will not give details here, but just to document that we've been working so hard in the last 135 days. Go slide to the next slide, please. That is we really signed and boarded in more than 11 agencies by no less than their secretaries. Next slide. Now, ang tanong po, kaya ba natin itaguyod ang CHED Achieve Strategic Agenda with the recalibrated and enhanced and ambitious CHED Achieve Framework? Kaya ba natin? Ang tanong po namin ay yes, but just like any other vehicle, we can only travel as far with sufficient fuel. But this time, in the interest of time, we are catching so much with our neighboring countries. We want not just an ordinary diesel or premium gasoline. We want aviation turbine fuel because we want to fly high. So this is now, I now go to the national expenditure project budget. I want to highlight here that the submission of NET was presented before the crafting of the Achieve framework. So we were given the 33,149,787. If we go to the last column, the new appropriation constitutes 98% of the total net budget, and the automatic appropriation 2%. Let me deep dive na po sa distribution, because this distribution, next slide please. So in the new appropriation, no. Can you go to slide 16? Yes. Dito po sa note summary, I would like to highlight and attention in 8.4, Higher Education Development Program. Note that 97% of the total new application goes to Higher Education Development Program, which include monitoring of program and scholarship. Kokonti lang ang natira para sa operation ng CHED. Next slide, please. So let me bring you now to 8.1 and 8.2, honorable senators. For the general appropriation and administration support, which only constitute 0.46% of the total 33 billion, the activities under POP 8.1 include major activities. general management in supervision, administration of personal benefits, management of receipts, payments, and many more. That's 0.46. For support to operation, 0.74%. Next slide, please. What about the 8.B? Ito po yung higher education na regulation program namin. Ngayon po, because we intensified our monitoring and reviewed all existing policies that should be directed to the standardization and harmonization of standard for excellence. Nakikita po natin na all 1.78% of the total 33 billion. What are the major activities that we are doing here? We monitor 113 state university and colleges, 178 local university and colleges, and more than 1,700 higher education institutions. And that is only the total number of institutions that we monitor. On top of that, we monitor the standards of 38,000 plus academic program. With the 591,104 pesos thousand to use on this huge number, we cannot avoid but to have lagged deliverables. In terms of continuation, so in terms of 8.4, which constitute the 97% of the total net budget or total budget of the agency, there are 12 activities under the 8.4. We are allotted 32,160,000,000 plus. And this is 1, 2, 3, 4. Next slide in the interest of time because I want to focus on what we need more. This 8.4 consists of this the scholarship that we are giving to our 5.4 million students, the Tulong Dunong program, the tertiary education subsidy, the free higher education. Can you move to the next slide? And then the seed fund for development of medical until 12. So madami po kaming binibigyan. So yung budget makikitang madami, 33 billion, but 97% of that goes to our Filipino students. So this is a continuation of the the granular expenditures namin sa aming NEP. And so ang question po ngayon, kaya po if you go to the next slide, we are considering now the increasing number of enrollment, the CHED transformation through our CHED agenda, and then the coping up of our higher education institutions. We listed 4 major wish lists. Additional funding for the tertiary education subsidy, additional funding for CHED transformation, and the leveling of and SUC infrastructure. So here are the wish lists po. Yan lang muna. Sige. These are the wish lists that we submitted to Congress, totaling to 13.5 billion. Ang wish list po natin, so wish list number 1 is the increase in the number of amount to finance the scholarship. The 8.6 billion that we are asking will cover the 135,000 ongoing Tulong and the projected 490,000 senior high school graduates who are coming in to tertiary education.
Mr. Chairman, so a lot of our questions are, regarding the tests and itong dulong and all of that. So anyway, nababasa naman po namin. I suggest na we can discuss this kasi ito rin po yung line of questioning ko.
Sige po. Thank you very much. Just to go through now. So if you can go through now so that I will end to the last slides. We know that our good senators here already listed Now, just to wish list number 1, go fast, please, to the last. Go. These are data that will support the Q&A later on. Next slide. So all the data that were asked during our consultative meeting are all here already. Next slide, please. This is the wish list 2. Can you please go there? So ito po yung kailangan namin in order to drive the achieve agenda. If we will not get this, then we will keep doing what has been done and we will deliver what has been delivered in the past. So ito po yung kailangan namin talaga. Seriously, kailangan namin i-facelift ang aming offices because we welcome ambassadors and presidents and ministers from different countries. Nakakahiya po yung itsura ng aming regional offices, especially in the central office. Next slide. So these are the details of our 30 billion additional request. Next slide. Some more please. Kasi nabasa na. Ito na gusto kong ipakita. Diyan muna po. Para makita nila. So ito yung aming mga itsura ng aming mga offices. Next slide. Next slide. So just can you go back a little bit, please? This. Beloved senators, this is the look of our offices. We are requesting with bendedness that we want to upgrade everything. Next slide, please go fast. Then this one. So in the discrepancy, we already discussed this with the SUCs before. Next slide. Just to show you this data po. Through the years, almost
recognize the presence of Senator JVRC.
Good morning po. Just to bring this, kasi palaging anong ginagawa ng higher education institution? Bakit hindi umangat yung quality education? Just to show you that most of our SUC, about 75% of them are collecting 200 pesos per unit. So, kailangan talagang iangat ang tuition fee nila. But of course, with composite fee on the way, we will provide our legislators the proper data to act on this. Next slide, please. So, comparing the fiscal years, I will go through quickly. So, you can see po na through the years from 2021, medyo mataas, bumaba na siya and stand steadily. 2022, 2025, I'm mindful of the increasing number of students that we have. I'm mindful of the rapidly changing landscape in higher education. I'm mindful of the different challenges, state-of-the-art facilities, and other infrastructure. Lahat ng maraming estudyante, hindi lang po sa basic, maraming estudyante ang nagkaklase under the tree because we wanted to implement the provisions of the Unifast law. Next slide. The fund utilization, feeling ko okay naman kami, except that in the CHED, which constitute about just a percentage of the total agency budget, we deliver what I promise. But mababa yung aming utilization rate because of this not so good implementation of our UACTE fund. Next slide. Next slide. So yan po I'm going to now our utilization with the enhanced governance and internal policies namin. We will try to catch up when it comes to fund utilization by 2025. Yung past years ay ang major contributory factors why mababa ang fund utilization is the non-systematic implementation of UACTE. Its fund is lodged in CHED. Next slide, please. So this is our catch-up plan, which we are going to promise in order to win your trust, to give us more and implement more. Next slide. Next. So this is the Higher Development Fund. Again, we already crafted in partnership with the DOT and TESA a systematic and doable programs of activities in order to use the SED fund to spend for the 6 pillars that we have agreed to allocate: facilities and demo labs, technology innovation and digitalization, tourism education, research and development, startup, and immersion and career development. So meron na po. So I hope that we will not be, hindi po tayo nasisilaw sa madaming savings in the past, but moving forward, kulang po yan ngayon. Next slide. So the utilization, the issue of utilization is doing good. It's just that there was no specific focus before, and there is no well-defined strategic plan. This time, meron na po. Next slide. And so on. So these are the scenarios which we are ready to give to every single question that you will ask. These are the summary of tertiary education subsidy tulong din ng program. Lahat po ng tinanong nyo, we are ready to provide the data. Next slide. So it's very hard to read the numbers, but we will be guided by your questions later on, and we are ready to submit all the data. Next slide. Come more. Proceed. So I would like to impress our good senators here that in designing our strategic agenda, we take consideration of the EDCOMPO observation, the key priority areas that they see very weak. We incorporated them in our program and activities starting this year. Next slide. Yeah, just to impress, this is my last slide. I mentioned earlier that I attended a very high profile meeting with higher education ministers in Kuala Lumpur. I was there for 38 hours to catch up with this budget briefing. So, lahat po ito ay yung declaration ng higher education towards an inclusive, sustainable, and prosperous ASEAN. This is a mandate that we committed during the declaration for higher education institution. We are mandated, since we will get the chairship of ASEAN 2026, we are mandated to launch a platform, an actionable platform, every single pillars that we declared in Langkawi, Kawe, and Kuala Lumpur. So with this honorable members, our beloved senators, we cannot move forward and impress our ASEAN countries brothers or counterpart in higher education without the full support of the Senate. These are the 11 pillars that we commit, develop an actionable framework to be launched during the ASEAN 2026, that the Philippines will be hosting. Next slide. I think wala na, no? So, marami pong salamat.